In today's video, we're going to start a series on how to make hand gifts that don't take a really long time, right? So it's either going to be knit or crochet, or even if you don't know how to knit and crochet, there are a couple things here that you still can do. So this is the first week in the series. I'm excited to bring it to you. So let's get started. I went to my local yarn shop, the Blue Pearl in Madison, New Jersey today. If you haven't signed up for their newsletter, I highly recommend it because they have amazing, I just love everything about the store, the way they feel about crafters, everything about it screams me and how I feel. And then they also have, for the holidays, they have great kits, lots of inspiration for you. So that's another thing, that you can be looking for, right? Are those things. So when I was there, what did I get? Well, I'm going to work on let me just show you what I splurged on. So I bought the Chigu. I have the shorties. I have them in the smallest size, the medium size. So the smallest size are in a red package. The medium size is in the blue package. And then this is the larger sizes in the yellow. I am so excited. I use these lots of times for small circumferences. And I also use them for doing swatches. If I'm going to knit a sweater in the round, my gauge swatch needs to be knit in the round, laundered the way I'm going to launder it, and then I can see what my gauge is. So this is really going to help me for those higher sizes. So the sizes on here is, like I thought I could do it without them. So it's 4 sets. Size 9 to 11. Let's open it up. So inside you have this wonderful pouch that can actually hang on something if you need it to. I like to stick it in whatever I'm working on. In here are the sets of your shorty needles. So it goes from size US 9 to US 11. That's 5.5 millimeters to 8 millimeters. And then here are the cables to join them. And then this is all the other stuff that you need to join them. And then look, this time it is, oh, I love this. So you can tell your needle size. It also has a gauge thing here. I love it. The other ones have the same thing, but it's not a square. It's a rectangle. So you could do row and stitch gauge here. Oh, that is, ooh. So I bought this at the Blue Pearl today. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so happy to have these and round out my collection. The next thing that I'm going to be working on, I'm working on a lot of things behind the scenes. So I have chosen to grab some things that I can do and show you. But I am doing this test knit by Caitlin Hunter. I don't think I'm breaking any rules by showing it to you. So I needed to choose 3 colors, and I went to the yarn shop. So it has like a cowl neck that goes into a raglan with some color work. And so my cowl neck, these are the colors that I picked. I went with O-wool, which is a machine washable wool. Machine wash cold, machine dry low. I'm so excited. So for the cowl, the top, I chose this color, which is Lady Slipper. I know, shocker pink, right? And then I chose this color, which is Juneberry, right? Juneberry? Juneberry. So that's going to be the main. And then for a pop of color, I grabbed some Barocco Vintage. And the reason why is that in Oh Will at the yarn shop, they didn't really have the pop of color that I was looking for. And so I went with another machine washable worsted weight wool. That's not easy to say. And I grabbed this beautiful green from Barocco Vintage. So it'll kind of look like this on the top that seeps into this with little sprinkles of this. And you know what was really funny? They're the colors in the lovely tee that I happen to be wearing right now. And my shoes. And my shoes. Is that, look. How ridiculous am I? But that does happen. You usually do go into the yarn shop and you usually pick the yarns that, you know, colors that you're actually wearing. So I got that. So I'll get started on that. That'll be like my fun kind of knitting to do. And then at the Blue Pearl, they had this whole section where it had little kits in there. Not little kits, but it had actual kits in there that you know, to give you inspiration. Or you could grab a kit there. There was one that was crochet baskets. That was really cool. If you sign up for their newsletter, they have all that stuff in there. It's really cool. But I happened to pick up this 29 Bridges. Someone in my life goes to Virginia Tech and one of their colors is this orange. So I happened to pick up a couple of these. Not sure what I'm going to make with it, but stay tuned. Gorgeous, right? Squee! So that was my yarn shop trip. The next thing I did was I went to Michael's and I did a little shopping for the series. So let's get into it's kind of like technique time, but I'm just going to show you how I make the really cute trees. Now, last week, you saw that at the end of the video, I was spinning yarn. And so here is the finished yarn. So it's nice and textured, it's nice, it's thick, it has the little, it has, you know, little curly cues hanging off of it, and it's just a great, beautiful, beautiful yarn. So let's see what we're going to turn that into. I thought I would take you to Michael's to see, that's where my craft store is, to see what kind of yarns you can use. We're going to get like a form for next week's project, and I thought I'd take you along. So here we go. Let's talk about supplies. So for this, we're going to be making covered trees. And I love the set of 3 trees, different sizes, maybe a tall one and 2 small ones. And I have given these away for years, and I absolutely love making them, and I love doing them. So what you're gonna need is some sort of tree form. And these are styrofoam ones that I purchased from Michael's. So these are the forms. just this little bitty one. You'll also need something to cover them. So I have this. So if you don't spin yarn, obviously in my last video I spun the yarn, which is this one. So I have this to cover one of them, but I also have store-bought yarn that you can go and look at what this is. I found this is from Red Heart. This is their scrubby yarn, and it's not soft. You're supposed to make dishcloths with them, but how great would this be for a tree, a fuzzy, fuzzy tree? So I got one of these. So then on top of that, when we do that, then I found, now this is last year. So last year at Michael's, I found these wood stickers. And they're kind of like by where all the holiday things are. So they are these snowflakes, wood stickers. But this year I found these stickers, which I thought were really sweet. And I also found this box. Now these are supposed to be gift tags, but that doesn't mean that we can't use them for the tree topper. So there's an entire box here. There's 24 pieces and it was $3. So I thought we might try this, like for the big giant one. And these are gonna be the toppers on the tree. To put the toppers on the tree, we're gonna need to make something to stick them in. And what I have found, again, at Michael's, in the, like where you purchase the baking stuff, are these treat toppers. And you can use regular toothpicks if you want. But what I have found with these is that they're very, very sharp at the edge. And it's easier to stick that down into the styrofoam when it comes time. So we have that, and then also, can you guess it? At Michael's, I bought a piece of felt, just basic felt, any color you want, and I just chose a regular color. So I actually have a little thing here that is the same size, a little bit bigger than the bottom. And this I use to make a bunch of them. I kind of do it like an assembly line, and it's really, really fun. So I have two sizes here, and I'll have to make one for this. And then my hot glue gun is fired up and ready to go. So let's go ahead and make these trees. So the first thing we're going to have to do is create the bottom. Now, I have this one, which is just a little bit bigger than here, but this is my template, so I don't want to use this one. And then I have this for the wee ones. So let's make a couple of these. So I just take, you could use just a regular pen as well. And so, well, I guess I could have come over here. So I have two of those, and I have one of these. And then today when I was at Michael's, I found this really cool big one. So I like the size of this. So I'm going to make the mold, I'm just going to, whoops, trace this. Oops, that didn't work out very well. Let's see. Okay. Okay, and now we're gonna cut them out. The next thing I'm gonna do is create the toppers. So here are those, the tree toppers that I got, and you can see how sharp they are. And I just simply take the little flag off. and they break off like that. You can also cut them if you want. And I need one more. So if you want to use your scissors, they cut, but I find it easier just to break them. And then what you're gonna do is on the back, these are wooden, but they're wooden stickers. So they would kind of be at the area where all the stickers are for scrapbooking. And look, that little knob comes right off. All right. So these are the wooden stickers. They came in one package. Here. Okay, they came right off. So they came in this package. Wooden stickers. Okay, they're all different sizes. And then this one is a DIY tag. That was a set that I got this year. Okay, so what we're gonna do is put just a wee little bit of, I have my hot glue gun here that's been getting stuff all over. I just put a little bit on here and then let them sit. So now let's get all these done. Okay, I'm gonna start by putting a little bit of okay, and that just kind of holds it in place. And then I'm gonna use my hot glue gun. This first row can be a little bit tricky. For the first round. So I'm just going to lay the yarn, whether it's hand spun or your own yarn, or the yarn that you purchased at the store, you're gonna lay that on that first part here. Now there's a little bit of room here and I wanna cover up every single bit of this styrofoam. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over it again. Now at some point you just start winding it around, and every once in a while, just to cover up the styrofoam. And every once in a while you can put a little bead of glue down. So let's put a little bead of glue down here. And then, so you're just winding it around. Just making sure to cover everything. See? So you continue that pattern until you get to the top. And I'll show you what to do at the top when I get there. So I have wrapped everything around. I love the way that it looks, and I'm going to leave a little length, maybe a couple inches, because what I'm going to do at the top is I'm going to put a bunch of glue and the top here, and I'm just going to wrap it around with my hand so that it kind of creates, let me show you. So I'll have just a little bit like that, okay? And then I'll use the toothpick that we made, the star, to while it's still hot, I'm going to pierce that in like that. Okay, so now I kind of know that I'm only going to need this much, about 1.5 inches or 2 inches. So I'm going to cut it. All right, this is wrapped around nicely. Oh, got a little messed up. Okay, so see how the top is kind of flat? You can see that here on this one. I'm going to put some hot glue, and I'm going to use my hands to just kind of make a coil. While that's still hot, I'm going to pierce that end piece, and I'm going to stick it in as straight as possible. Now, it's still pretty hot, so be careful. Don't want to burn your, oh, look it. And now look at your cute little tree. Look at that. There's a little something there. What is that? Oh, just a little something. Okay, so then we're going to put some hot glue on the edge here. And fit the bottom. Fit the bottom on. I put the date and my initials. You don't have to. And let that all dry. And here you have it. It's so cute. I just love it. So you're gonna do that with every single yarn that you've gotten, right? You're gonna do it, this one, wait till you see the finished product. It looks so great. And this one also is very nice. I'm going to use, actually, I think I'll use this, and I'll make the medium size with this. Okay, stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed week 1 of the holiday how-to crafting, and I will see you next week for the next installment. Have a great week. Bye.